will see how to use the Apache Zookeeper in order to implement service discovery, and how to use the Curator framework in order to query data from Zookeeper. And we will need to install Zookeeper on our local machine, and we will use also Zoo Inspector. It's a kind of client application we can use to to edit Zookeeper, like create nodes, remove nodes, and so on. Yeah, let's start. The first thing we have to do is to include the dependencies we will use in this project. This will be a Gradle project, and I will use the Spring Boot version 2.2.7. I have entered here the information already for my setups in order to save a little bit time. I will call it Spring Cloud Demo. And the first dependency we need is Apache Zookeeper discovery. Apache Zookeeper discovery, and since I will write later on a controller to query the data from Zookeeper, I will need the Spring Web dependency. Once you have entered the information you need here, then you can click on Generate button to generate the project. I have done this already to save a little bit time. That means afterwards you will get a zip folder like this, and you can place it wherever you want and unzip it. And afterwards you can go to your IDE and import the project there. Once you are in your IDE, you can import the projects. In my case, I'm using IntelliJ. That means I can go here and see project from existing source, select the folder where I place the project, and click the OK button, and that's it. I've done this already in order to save a little bit time. Yeah, and afterwards, after you have imported the project, this is the folder structure you will get. Let's have a look here in the build Gradle, which has been generated for us. Yeah, this is the plugins. Those are the plugins we got. Let me comment this one here. This and this one. I will tell you why. And those are the dependencies we have got, and this is the Maven BOM. BOM stands for Bill of Materials, because Spring Cloud, the purpose of Spring Cloud is to provide tools for developer in order to quickly set up a project where you can implement common patterns for distributed system, like configuration management, service discovery, which we want to showcase today, and so on. And BOM stands for Bill of Materials. This is an umbrella project which include all other independent projects. Let me go here and change it to compile. This will work. This will also work, but I will go for compile here. Here and here, compile. I don't need to exclude anything here. That's why I will remove it. Then, since I am not rating any tests, I will remove this one also. And now, what I want to achieve, I will create a multi-module project. That means all the setups here, I will include them in the sub projects. Sub projects. Let me copy all this stuff here, place it here. Okay, that means all the settings here will apply to, let's remove this one, I don't need this also. All the settings here will apply to the submodules which we will create afterwards. What I want to do here, apply plugin. Now I have to apply the Java plugin, which I've commented here, and the other plugin, the Spring dependency, which I can copy from here. Okay. Yeah, and let me comment this block also. Okay, that's it. Now I will create one more thing I want to do here. I want to rename this folder to master because it will be the main folder which will include all the other submodules. That means that's why I want to rename it. For that I need one more plugin. This is the idea plugin which I can use here. Idea module name is equal master. Yeah, and that's it. Now let me create the other submodules. First one is the module which we will use for service discovery. I will call it Spring Cloud Demo Discovery. Yes, that's it. And the other module is the web module. I will call it Spring Cloud Demo Web, where I want to implement my control later on. Okay. Sorry. Now the project has been built, and as you can see here, now the project is called master, and they have the submodules here. And since the main module is not meant to be a Java project, we won't implement anything there, then let me remove this one also, this folder. Okay. Now we can start implementing our stuff. Here we will begin with the service discovery. Here let me create one package. Okay, com Java lab Spring Cloud. I will call it model. We will see why. Okay, and here inside I will create a class which I will call it service instance mapper. Okay, and here first I have to include the dependency. I am now here. I have to include the dependency for the service discovery. This I don't need, and the dependency I can copy it from the main module. This is the dependency I need, and I'll copy it here inside. Okay, and now let's go back to our class. First we have to build our project. In order to get the dependency I want to use here, build. Okay, let's import. It generates a constructor. Okay, and this constructor I will pass service instance, this class here, and since we will use Zookeeper, I will pass Zookeeper instance like this. We will see why afterwards. Okay, let's go now inside. This is the data we will. This is the object we will get once we will query the data from Zookeeper. Let's go, and this is the service instance representation for Zookeeper service. Let's go here inside, and let me copy all this stuff here. Okay, let me get rid of this final, I don't need it. Okay, and instead of this, let's copy this one. Okay, let's remove the constructor, generate it again. Okay, generate constructor. Okay, that's not how I want to do it. Let's replace it here, because now I want to initialize my stuff here. Okay, address, I don't want to show the address. Name, I will get it from this instance. We will see afterwards. Now I'm preparing the data, but we will see afterward how to use them. ID.id is equal to instance get ID, and this port, this is the port where the application afterwards will be running. Gets port, and this gets this payload is equal to instance get payload, and last thing is, or we still have SSL port is equal to instance get SSL port. Okay, we got everything here: name, ID, port, SSL port, and payload. And I want to serialize this one. That's why I will go for JSON serializer, and we will create here the getter. Generate getters. Let's copy everything. Okay, with this class we are done. Let me create one class, one interface here, which I will call it services registry. Yes, and this will include one method. The return will be service instance mapper. And we will call it get instance, and we will pass the name of the service. Okay, that means this service, using this service, we will query the data from Zookeeper using the Apache Zookeeper discovery. We will pass the name of the service for which we want to get the data. Yeah, and I will also let this interface extend the auto-closable interface, so that once the service registry is not used anymore, then I can do some clean up our resources. Then I will create the implementation of this class, services registry, impl. Okay, implements service registry, and here I will add an implemented methods. Okay, the service registry need 3 parameters. The first one is the Curator framework, which we will use to query the data from Zookeeper and the service discovery. Service discovery, and since we will use Zookeeper, then I will go here for Zookeeper instance. and they will call it service discovery. And the third one is Zookeeper discovery properties. This one, I will tell you why. Okay, this class has got here much information. One of them is this root variable, and this is the node, the Z node. In Zookeeper, we talk in terms of Z nodes, and this is the place where Zookeeper will register the services. And we should tell now the Curator framework from which place he should fetch the information to the services. That's why we need this this one here. That's why we need Zookeeper discovery properties. Now let me generate the constructor. Okay. Okay. The service discovery, let's move it here below. The service discovery is the main class in the Apache Curator framework. This is in the Apache. This is part of the Apache Curator framework, as you can see here. And this is the main class which encapsulates the service discovery facilities. And in order to get a service discovery, we will use service discovery builder. This one we will pass in the builder class. We will pass Zookeeper instance dot class, and let me. And as a client, we will pass Curator framework, and we should tell him also from where he should query for the data. That's why I will see here as a base path. We pass Zookeeper discover properties get root, which I showed you before, and the last thing we have to do is the build, so that we can get now our instance. Okay. Yeah, now we have our service discovery, we have our Curator framework. Now we can implement our method using the discovery service. Now we can use our discovery service discovery, and we can call this method, pass the service name. Yes. Okay. Okay, query for instances. There is also possibility to query for one instance. This is this method here, but here we have to pass the ID of the instance. Each service can have several instances, and for each instance you will get ID assigned to it. But for now we will query for the instances of this service, which we will implement later on, and we will pass the name here. Let's generate here variable, factor extracts variable. Okay, it's good. And here we will pick up now the first instance and pass it as a parameter to the service instance mapper. This means here our result will be return new service instance mapper, and here services instance iterator, and pick up the next one. Yeah, then we are done here. That means, okay, we will pick up the first instance and return it from here, which we will wrap inside the service instance mapper we have implemented here. This is the representation, as I told before, of the service instance. Okay, that means here we are done with our instance method. Now we have to do the cleanup work, and we have two resources we have to clean. First is the service discovery, check if it's not null, and we have to close it. Not this. close and set it to null. And the other resource is our Curator framework. Curator framework is not equal to null. And call the close method and close it. Okay, now we are done with our implementation for the service registry. One more thing we have to do. This parameter have to be passed now to the service registry by the framework, but you can see I'm not using the AutoWire. I will go for other method and we'll use the auto configuration. Let me create here one more package, which I will call it java lab dot spring cloud, and I will call it auto configure. Okay, java lab spring cloud auto configure, everything is okay. And here I will create now my auto configuration. I will call it spring cloud registry auto configuration. Okay, and I will annotate it with annotation configuration so that Spring can scan it, and I will create a bin here, public. I have to create now the bin for my service registry, services registry. I need this one. Okay, I will call them it also services registry, and I have now to pass the parameter for the constructor from here. Pass them here inside. Okay, let's format that a little bit. Okay. Why he is not able to find the services registry? Okay. Okay, let's see. We have our service registry here. Instance mapper is here. What is the issue? I don't have any package here. This is bad. Let's copy this one. Okay, that's why. Okay, package is com.javalab.springcloud. Okay. And the same thing as I have to do here also. Okay. Okay. Is it? Okay, and now let's see. Okay, now we got the class, and we can Now create, generate our service registry impl using this parameter, service discovery and zookeeper properties. Okay, think we are done here with our service registry, and we can move now to the other modules. The other module, no, I need here still, okay, I need to, I've created here my configuration for the auto configuration, but still I need to enable the auto configuration. For that, I will create a folder, directory, which I have to call meta inf, and inside this one I will create a file which we must call it Spring Factories. This is how the auto configuration works. And now let me check for something here. Enable auto configuration. Let's look for the scope. Okay, I need this one. This is how also Spring use it. Okay, if you see here, let's click here. Okay, anyway, I have to copy this one and paste it here, and now I have to paste to pass the name of my my class, including the package name. That means let me copy the package name and the class name of my configuration. Okay, that's fine. Now we can move to our web module, and we can create now our controller. First, let me create one main class. I will call it Spring Cloud Demo App. Okay. Let's see here. I have to annotate it with Spring Boot annotation. It's not that anymore. Not yet. That means here I have also to include the dependencies. Yeah. For this node, I have to include the dependencies. Let's keep the plugin. Okay. I have to include the dependencies from the main module, and this is the dependency I need. I will include it here. Okay, and I can also include this one, this dependency, even if I won't write any test right now, but let's copy it here. And I need also the plugin here. Yeah, can copy it from here, place it here. The Java plugin I don't need because we told here that for every sub-project we will apply the plugin Java and Spring dependency plugin. That means this one I can remove now, and the plugin also, and I can remove also this block because it's not needed. Okay, now let's import everything, build everything and import in order to get the dependency for my web module. Okay, main class have not been configured and could not be resolved. Okay, I have the main class. Okay, here now I can, let's first, okay, even if it will be empty, let's see now. Okay, now I can build and I can, let's import first everything synchronized now to get the dependencies and annotation I will need here for the web module. Okay, now I will check if I can get now the Spring Boot application. Okay, now I can get it. Now let's continue finalize the implementation here. Spring application dot run dot spring application demo class, and I will pass the args as parameter. Then I am done here. Okay, then I can create now my controller class com dot java lab dot spring cloud, and I will call it services controller. Yeah, that's it. Let me copy this package here also, because I think I missed to put the package here in my main class. Okay, Spring Cloud. Okay, now I can implement my controller. I can annotate it with REST controller, and I will need the service registry here, which I've implemented before. Services registry. Okay, the right one. Oh, this is not my one I want to use. This is not the one I want to use. That means I have still to include the dependency here to the service discovery projects. Compile, not components, but compile. And project, let's copy it from here. Is it in the main module? In setting Gradle, I can copy it from here. And now paste it here. Now let's build to get the dependency to the service discovery module. Okay, now let's import the class, and now it's there. Now this is the class I want to use. From again, it's the wrong one. Services registry, this one. Okay, now I can implement my request mapping. I will have here the value as instance. Okay, instances, and I have to pass the name here. Okay, and this will produce a JSON. Media type, this one, application JSON value, and I can now implement my method. The return type will be service registry mapper. Service instance mapper, this one, and I will call the method also get instance, and pass the name for that in the path variable. string name. Okay, like this, I am reading this variable here, which is a path variable. And now I can call the get instance method. Get instance pass the name. Okay, I think here I'm almost done. One more thing I have to do. I have this will be passed as a dependency by Spring Framework, but now I'm not using the auto wire. I will go for auto configuration also here. Let me create one package com.java lab dot spring cloud, and I will call it auto configure. You can choose whatever name, but this is the naming convention which Spring also is using. And here I will create now my configuration. I will call it Spring Cloud Demo Auto Configuration. Auto configuration. Okay, Spring Cloud Demo Auto Configuration. I will annotate it with configuration so that it will be scanned by Spring. And now I have to create a bin method here. Bin and generate my controller. Services controller. I will call the method also services controller. Now I can pass the service registry. Services registry. And I can create my controller. Return new services controller. Services registry. Okay, I have to create the constructor because it's not there yet. Create constructor. Fine. This service registry is equal to service registry. Let's go back to the auto configurer. I want to create this controller only if it's missing. Conditional on missing bin I have to use. That means it will be created only if the controller is missing. Okay, the auto configuration I've created, I have to enable it the same I did here for the other module. That means I will copy this one, paste it here, and adapt it. Okay, now I have to I have to pass now this configuration. Okay, now I am done, I guess. Okay, one more thing I have to do here. I want to change the port of the application because the default port in Spring for Tomcat is 8080. I want to change it to something else. Application YAML server port. I will choose 9094, for example, and call my application Spring application dot name. I will call it Spring Cloud Demo App. Okay. Yeah, that's it, I guess. That's all what we need. Let's try. The application can start. First, I have to start the Zookeeper. in my case, I've placed the Zookeeper here. That means, okay, the download link I will provide. That means you will install it and go here inside the Zookeeper folder, in the bin folder, and here search for setserve and click on this one, and Zookeeper will start. Don't forget, after installing Zookeeper and ZooInspector, to set up the Java home, otherwise it will not run. The Zookeeper will not run. And now let's try if we can start our application. Okay. File not found, cannot be opened because it doesn't exist. Okay, it is here maybe. Com Java Lab Spring Cloud Auto Configure. Okay, okay, this is the class. Auto configure. And this is the class name. Spring Cloud Demo Auto Configuration. Let's hope. It looks fine. Okay, the application has been started. Okay, the package name, it seems that's the package name, including the application name, was wrong here. But anyway, let's now try to use our controller to query for the application, for this application name. Yeah, this is our application. Let's copy it and go here, localhost 1994 instances. Okay, localhost 1994 instances. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, it looks good. That means we have now the information. We have used our controller to query the information from Zookeeper using the service discovery. This is the service name, and this is the instance ID of the service. This is the port where the application is running. I don't set any SSL port. That's why it's null, and this is the payload. Let's review what we have done. Let's start the Zookeeper inspector to show what we have done. Okay. Zookeeper will connect per default to port 2181, but you can change it. I keep the default port here. Now you can see this is the base part which I showed you before in our service registry impl. Here, once we have generated the service discovery, we told him we want to have a Zookeeper instance, and we will use the Curator framework as a client to query the data, and we pass the base part from where the Curator framework should query the instances of the application. This is this one here. And now, as you can see, the application has been started and it has registered itself below this service. And the Curator framework can query now the information to the application. One service or one application can have several instances. In our case, we have only one instance because we have only started one application, one instance. And this is the information we got: name, ID, and let's see here, address. I don't want to to let others appear because it's yeah, you will see the I don't want to let it appear because it's the name of my computer. It's kind of sensitive information. But this is the JSON representation of the this one of the instance of for this service. This is the application name or service name. This is the ID here, which we got also while querying ATFBFC. Same thing here. Yeah, ATFBFC. Okay, now let's summarize what we have done right in now. Okay. We have created a main module. We have renamed it to master using the IDEA plugin, and we have created sub-modules. One module for the discovery. In this module, we have created an interface and the implementation, using which we will query the data from Zookeeper. We have implemented the interface method. We picked up the first service instance, and here we did some cleanup because our we closed now the service discovery, our two resources, and the Curator framework using the auto-closable, which our interface implements here. And we use also the auto-config. We use also this instance mapper. That means here the instance I will get here, I pass it as a parameter in the constructor of the service mapper, and from there we will map the information from this instance to the instance mapper, and we serialized our instance mapper using decision serializer. And we use the auto configuration in order to generate our service registry. Okay, and then we have created another module. This is the whip module where we have created the main class, our main class for the application. Yeah. And we have also created here our controller, using which we use the service registry in order to query the information for our service. And the service name we have defined here. This is our service name, which we pass here. This is the service name. Yeah, this one. And again, here we use the auto configuration. Yeah, this is the auto configuration class which we defined in order to instantiate our controller. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, go and like it and subscribe to the channel to help me to provide more tutorials. Yeah, and I think it will be beneficial, this video, for you, and I hope I'm looking forward to see you in other subsequent videos for Spring Cloud. Yeah, that's it, and thanks a lot, and bye.